What? Oh, KFC if we want him.
Sure, if you want him, yeah, sure.
I don't know. Austin came in. It's your show. Did you not know he was there?
How the hell would I know? Nobody tells me. And nobody's telling me anything. Nobody. How would I know?
I don't know. How do I know? I'm in Vegas. How do I know?
You're with everyone, you said.
So is Kevin. I'm here. I'm in fucking Watertown.
I'm not with Kevin. I'm in a fucking Park MGM suite.
Is Kevin Clancy currently in Watertown, Massachusetts, or Las Vegas, Nevada?
He's in Las Vegas.
Okay, I'm in Watertown, so I don't.
He's not with me. I don't know where Kevin is. I don't even know how we got him.
He's sitting next to me right now. I don't think he's in the blind mic.
There he is.
There he is.
What is going on? I don't need to come on this show right now. Am I invited or not?
Why are you here? Why are you forcing?
Well, Dave just said you were ready to come on, but then he said he doesn't know.
No, Austin came in and said Kevin's here.
Marina sent me a link and said, "Here's a link if you want to join the show." I assumed you were talking about me. I got shit to do. I can go.
Well, basically what we were saying was, how much of the blame of the failure of Barstool Radio do you take?
0%.
Wow, you are fucking unbelievable. You are unbelievable.
Well, can I ask you this?
Well, wait. Are we talking about the transition to a new show?
You bailed correctly, by the way. You're like, listen, it's hurting our podcast. It's eating our podcast. So I'm bailing. You bailed in the middle of the week. You handed over to two people who just were the wrong fit. It was your call. So, like, you have to take some blame for that. Take no blame is insane.
No, I first of all, you're right. My numbers went drastically down to a point that I was like, I need to change this right now because what I've been building for like 15 years is in bad shape.
So I don't think there's any argument you did the right thing. You did the right thing for your show. It was who you kind of put in there.
To be honest, I said I didn't even I knew you were canceling your show, Kevin. I didn't know you were giving. I didn't know we were continuing it.
Radio. That's fair. So, yeah, what I will take blame for is I should have just absolutely canceled it for sure. We just shouldn't have done it at all. Right? I love the mind of like let's try to make content. Let's try to put other people in a position to succeed. I think handing somebody the baton and letting them try to run with it, in hindsight, was a bad idea, but I thought it was maybe a good idea. I asked Tommy. He said no. I talked to Roan. It wasn't possible.
Okay, question. Sorry to interrupt. How is Tommy able to say no to that? Like, shouldn't you be like, you're doing it?
Well,
because I heard you.
Because I could see Tommy doing it. I could see him being good at it.
Well, I heard you say in your show, Kevin, you were disappointed in Tommy and Pat. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, I thought Tommy. I mean, there's a reason why I picked him with the first go round with me because he's good with the drama. He knows Barstool. He's actually been a part of Barstool Radio before. He's filled in for Dave. And when I asked him, he was like, I really want to do more of the scripted stuff. And I was like, well, I'm not going to put someone else in there who doesn't have their heart in it. You know, it's not something that you can like mail it in. And then in the New York office, there's like a couple other people who I can really rely upon to like show up and do a daily show. There's not many people who are going to do a 4-day-a-week show.
I mean, Dave, this to me feels like a burial. This feels like a burial of New York to me, Dave, by Kevin being like, these guys aren't going to show up and work. No.
It's a combo. There's not the right people to do the show. We just went through it before Kevin got on. There is the angst, which I like in New York, and I like the back and forth and the bickering. Then you have other people who are very successful and just not involved in the drama, which we've already mentioned, Chicks in the Office, Breon, whatever. No, I agree. To me, the biggest mistake Kevin made, it should have never continued. Once Kevin was done with it should have just gone away. And you wait, and maybe it comes back in some other form, just like it went away. Now, weirdly, I keep saying it, I think Keegs maybe, like I could see maybe thinking that's right fit, and Francis did do radio. Now, where the miscommunication, like, again, I already said it, Kevin, before you came on. When Francis said he wanted the show to be about dressing fancy.
It was over.
That's just such an insane thing to say.
He does dress pretty well.
But I wasn't surprised. That's who he is. Like, the show stunk, it stunk before that episode with those two. Like, it was no surprise. It was a bad show.
Like I could absolutely see a world where Kelly and Tommy would be great at Barstool Radio. With doing all the drama, dragging everybody in, gossiping and all that shit, doing that part of it. The rest of it, when there's not drama, you got to carry a good show. And that is hard to do 4 days a week on a level that we're talking about for like the name Barstool Radio. But
can I have another question?
It wasn't,
I have one as well, but go ahead, Dave.
What?
Here's something, and we could have talked it on the radio the other day, Kevin. They were talking. All right. So we're mentioning, I still see myself as involved in New York.
That's
so
laughable.
Well, you said no, Dave. You said you were the leader of New York State.
Yes, I still see myself because when Dan went to Chicago, that's him moving to Chicago. To me, it's like I said, putting a flag in the move. We hadn't been there. It was his move. People followed. New York's been there forever. I still view, I was surprised I didn't know that you had passed on Barstool Radio. We knew Barstool Radio is gone. We were together on that. And then I was surprised we just did Barstool Radio and I know it just appeared. That. I didn't really care. I hoped it worked, but that surprised me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll run that sort of stuff by you. I didn't know you wanted to,
Well, no, you can do whatever you want.
Do you consider yourself the leader in New York, Kevin? Like Dan is in Chicago, or no?
I mean, I'm trying to motivate everybody in New York, but at the end of the day, Dave is obviously the guy who's running the show. But I'm trying to
So isn't it weird that you guys never talked?
That's on one of you two.
We talked about.
I mean, me and Dave have always. That's kind of always been how we are. I guess that was a business. We usually talk about business, and that was a business decision. So I probably should have run that by him. Yeah.
But I didn't care. I wasn't he's there and doing stuff. But we've never talked a lot. But even Dan. But to be honest, Dan will still even though he's Chicago. If he has a content thing or new, he'll run it by. If Dan wants to hire somebody, he's like, "Hey, what do you think? Can we hire?" It still goes through me.
Yeah, you're right. That I will take blame for. I should have run that by you. I was more of I got so much feedback from fans and from people at Barstool being Barstool Radio is a necessity for the fans love it to keep up with all the drama, and the people almost love it because it's all the festering and gossiping and infighting, you almost get it out because there's a forum to do it. So I heard so much feedback after we started, Barstool Radio needs to exist. Barstool Radio needs to exist. And I guess in hindsight, I expected Tommy or someone else to do it that I thought was going to fit. And the minute that didn't happen, I should have just been
Kevin said it earlier.
But at that
there's
point,
very
I was
few
set on saving.
He said earlier, there's very few people who can do it.
Yeah, the problem is, and I hate to pump your tires, but I don't think there's a Barstool Radio without Dave on it.
Not in the way that people want. Not the way that
Kevin or not?
Wait, say it one more time. I'm sorry. There's a little bit of a delay. So
it's hard to say it again, but I don't think Barstool Radio can work without Dave.
Yes, I think Barstool Radio was at its best when it was me and Dave. Because Dave, he was on every day, and that's what drives the ship. That's what stirs the straw that stirs the drink. And I would push back on him enough, or probably too much, to be honest. We were fighting all the time. And I also was enough of a status at Barstool to have people had an opinion. I have an opinion that people care about. And yeah, when we brought it back, when there was just drama that fell in our lap, it was great. But I'm not going to talk about the minutia of Barstool, this person's contract, this person's, what this person's numbers are. We'll talk about when they're fighting. Dave can talk about all of that shit, and that's what really people want to see.
And there is also when you're doing drama, and Kelly Keegs is a perfect example, and this has always been with Barstool. Nate's another perfect example. The fact that I started it, people can take. You don't have much choice if I'm coming at you. It's all right, well, he's the boss. If you see somebody on that's where people go bananas here. It's Kelly Keegs, who is this Tate guy? What's his right to attack me?
But she also handled it badly.
Horribly.
She's accusing people of slut shaming her, and she's doing this, and she's blocking people. That's why I don't think she would work. She might be a good blogger. I feel like she's done 40 podcasts. It's never worked. As an on-air person, to me, she just doesn't. It's not for everybody.
But at the same time,
for her, it doesn't work.
At the same time,
it's not for everybody.
Listen, when she did the Mean Girls thing, people loved it. So it's but
she ran away.
But that goes to my point. It's easy to be the giver. It's easy to be the giver. That Ohio State guy, while writing some pretty magnificent blogs, seems like a little bit of a cunt.
And that's why.
I mean, you can fire at people. It's easy to fire at once you get fired upon.
Bosco.
And Dave,
you guys are describing Bosco.
Well, hold on, but Dave won't. I want this Ohio State guy.
That is, Bosco likes being the bully. The bully always has fun, but when the bully gets bullied, then you see what it's all about. That's Bosco in a nutshell.
But get Tate into the New York office.
March 11th, he is done teaching and he's fair game.
That's a month from now.
The guy is an elementary school teacher.
You don't think Kelly Keegs will wait a month to get at this fucking guy?
Tate didn't say anything that bad.
I agree. To me, it's not a question of Tate. This is a test of the people in New York. Tate goes in there and they're all talking all kinds of shit. Let's see. Bring him in next week. Let's see how they react. Him, I don't care. He's going to be a zero. He's a content zero on air. Fine. I want to see
Nate?
Keegs, Ohio State guy. I want to see how Nate as well. I want to see Nate. I want to see Frank. All these people talk all kinds of shit when he's in the office. It's not about him. It's about them. Just for a week.
Let me tell you this, though.
Yeah.
The New York office, people in the New York office, a lot of them, and we vary throughout the company. We have people who don't, and you guys may say they don't. We have people who don't have any idea where the line in the sand is. And there is a line in the sand.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Nate Dogg
will try to ruin your life. Well, you said yesterday he would.
Yeah. He texted me, and then I saw him deny it. I have the text. He texted me.
Read the text.
Wait, yeah. Let me say this. I spoke to Nate last night, and he goes, I have the email. And then he starts reading through it, and he gets like to a certain line halfway through, and he goes, oh, I can understand why Dave thought that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's let Kevin's on delay. We'll catch up with him later. Let him go.
Let me just say one last thing, because I do think what Dave said is true about being like the guy. You have to reply to him. You have to go in there with him. And then afterwards, people just kind of go back to being like, that's Dave. He's the boss. Whereas, if you call people out and you're not the boss, they're like, fuck you for life. And that's not, nobody really wants to live that life. It's not an easy one to just be like, I come into work every day and piss off every single person in my life.
I know, but like that's this company. Like that's what you signed up for.
That's what I do. That's my living.
No,
Kirk.
Listen,
that's how I live. That's my whole life. That's how you do it. Or you don't.
I don't think I could live that life.
Exactly my point. If you're telling me I have to be like Kirk Minahan, I got to get paid $10 million a fucking year. That's the point.
And Kirk,
yes,
you don't take it personal. You don't take it personal, Kirk. A lot of people take it personal.
Everybody else, Kirk, everybody takes it personal.
I know, Ken, but you can't write shit like that about Alex and Jordan, which I agreed with.
Yes.
And then be a fucking baby when they called on you.
100%.
That doesn't work.
Bosco.
Fact.
Well, we'll leave Rico alone. Okay, so he's had enough. He's fine. Rico's fine.
Last thing we're gonna do though, let me just kind of announce this here. The other day we did a draft at Barstool, New York. We had 4 captains. They all drafted. Maybe I should have run this by you too, Dave. I don't know if you like this idea. I think it's pretty good. 4 captains. They all drafted about 4 or 5 people because there's like 20, 25 people in the office.
Who was the last pick?
I
don't understand. What's the point of the draft?
Smitty. So the team every team makes a new video every single month, and it's like a contest to see who can get the most views. So
I would never. I'd say never say no to that, but like I don't do stuff like that. That's not my
right. Well, that's kind of my thought in New York is I'm doing a lot of shit that I think you would either not like or just not do. The continuing Barstool, that definitely you should have been in on that. But this is I think it's going to start February 22nd is the first like videos that drop. So everyone picks their own theme, makes their own videos, and then next month we do another round of captains. So I know Chicago has a lot of glitz and glamour, and they're doing a lot of shit, a lot of views. But I think this will put out original content, 4 videos a month, every month from Barstool, New York, and we'll see who can sink or swim.
All right, see you later. There you go.
We'll see you.
The Nate Dogg stuff. Here it is. So.
Hold on.